Okay, so like usual, using any support that you need to be able to just find a comfortable seat. And basically, just to briefly just be still, for a few moments. And first, if you want to, you can move around. Through the movement and through the breath. Right, so start to breathe here too. Through the movement and the breath, and then eventually, when you find that stillness in your seat, the one constant is that we're just paying attention to the body. So no matter what we're kind of, doing, movement, breathing, or holding, we're always just attempting to pay attention to the body. And, not thinking about the body, but just feeling the body. And the breath is a great that kind of path in order to feel the body. And we don't need to stop thinking. We don't need to, try and do that. We can just feel, just breathe. Alright, so as you breathe here, see if you can, start by taking even breaths. So maybe to start off, actually, let's take 6-second inhales and 6-second exhales, or whatever count works for you. Whatever length of breath you can find a really nice rhythm in. So not really challenging your breath capacity, but just creating a really nice flow of breath. And then letting there be a really smooth flow between breaths. So the breath just really gradually turns into the next breath. And then with the inhales, maybe you're connecting with, feeling your body, just spreading your awareness throughout your body. And then on the exhale, just more of a relaxing and letting go and feeling your body, just kind of here in space, touching the floor. So inhale, just naturally feeling, and exhale, naturally relaxing and letting go. Right. And then just a few more breaths. So if it feels right, maybe deepening the breath and still staying with that really smooth transition point between the breath. Paying attention to that transition point, is pretty powerful. It really kind of just helps us naturally to focus, right? Kind of really easy focus. And with that sense of easy focus, it helps to relax the body, right? Relax the mind. And, if you practice it, then you can start to do it in action. So maybe when you're in a pose, or maybe even if you're driving, it really changes everything. Maybe when you're cooking, right, whatever. So just connecting with an underlying foundation that is, present or can be present in everything we do. And then here we're just practicing that. So all throughout practice, just keep coming back to your breath and seeing how constant you can keep that really easy focus. Okay, then with your next inhale, let's reach the arms up overhead. All right, lift the chest, maybe a little arch in the back. And as you exhale, hands to prayer in front of the heart. And soften the shoulders, softly bow the head forward. And let's take a moment and connect with our intention for being here. So why are you here? Why are you about to practice? And then bringing something into your mind that maybe you'd like to come back to throughout your practice. Maybe it's your intention, maybe it's something even simpler. All right, and namaste. Okay, so let's all meet in child's pose. All right, so take some time getting there. All right, kind of, let me think about kind of like nestling your way into it. So maybe rocking the hips, all right, moving the chest, rocking on the forehead. And maybe playing around with, if it feels nice to have your knees all the way close together. It's something that I kind of, that kind of rarely find myself doing. But maybe try something different. So if your knees are really close together usually, maybe spread them apart. If your knees are really wide usually, maybe just take them together. So the body really likes, to do different things. And then here, just connect with your breath. And then just feel your body opening into this pose. And so a really gentle pose. But in every posture, just noticing in what way it's helping our body to open. There's not much strength involved in this pose, but in other poses, right, finding out how we can strengthen our body. All right, so let's take 2 more breaths. All right, great. And then from here, let's just stretch the arms forward. So reach the arms forward, spread the fingers, spread the hands apart about shoulders distance. And let's all bring the knees together. And we'll go through this little flow with our knees together, which feels nice. All right, so let's exhale all the breath. Gently exhale, pull the belly button in. And then as you inhale, come up onto all fours. And let's go into cow pose. So knees, feet together, arch the back. And then tuck the toes, exhale, downward dog, right, with the feet together. All right, squeeze that breath out. And then as you inhale, knees back to the floor, cow pose. Really gently set the knees down, feel the core. And as you exhale, hips back, child's pose. All right, just a moment to relax. And then inhale back to cow pose. Drop the belly, pull the chest forward. And tuck the toes, exhale to down dog. A nice stretch on the back of the legs. And as you inhale, cow pose, knees down, arms strong. And as you exhale, child's pose. Okay, cool. So let's take 2 breaths here. So let's go through 2 more rounds of that just at our own pace. And then see what count you want your breath to be. So we'll count every single breath. Maybe every breath is 4 count, 5 count, 6 count. whatever works for you. All right, we'll all go through at our own pace, just trying to even out every breath and every movement. So start off by exhaling completely. And then with your inhale, go ahead and begin. Okay, nice job. And then once you finish 2 rounds, just take a breath or two in child's pose. And then whenever you're ready, we'll all meet in downward dog. All right, nice job. So if you want to, feel free to count your breath anytime throughout practice. It just adds an element, of focus. And then once you're in down dog, all right, keep breathing. Let the body move here any way that feels nice. All right, loosen up the neck, loosen up the face. Pedal out the legs. See how the hips feel, the calves feel. Nice. And then really ground through the hands. So finding some stillness when you're ready. Really spread the hands, spread the fingers. And then try and press down into the base of your index knuckle as you spin the elbows in. Right, keep a slight bend in the elbows. And the elbows come in, notice the shoulders roll out. See if you can kind of increase some space behind the shoulder blades and behind the neck. Right, so neck super soft. And then try to bend the knees a little bit. And then from the base of your index knuckle, pushing down, stretch up through the tailbone. So just think there's a connection there. Right, base of index knuckle, tailbone stretching away from each other. And then keeping that lift in the tailbone, just start to straighten the knees out, press the heels down towards the floor, just until you feel a reasonable stretch. And let's take one more deep breath. Alright, great. Now let's take one more nice big breath in, and then lift the hips up a little bit higher, deepen the stretch. And as you exhale, bend the knees, and then walk or step all the way up to your hands. And once you're there, inhale, come to a flat back. All right, lengthen the spine. And as you exhale, fold. All right, cool. And from here, let's go ahead and spread the feet apart, hips distance or wider. And put a nice bend in the knees. And then just let your whole spine, whole upper body relax. All right, shake out the neck. Really soften the face. Now let's take a few deep breaths here. If it feels good, take the fingers around the elbows and sway. If you want, you can kind of bounce and pulse. All right, deep breaths, long exhales. Nice job. Alright, and then in the center, go ahead and release the hands. And let's bring the feet a little bit closer together. And then bend the knees, push into the feet, and then inhale, round the back all the way up to standing. Keep the head heavy, keep the arms nice and heavy. And then once you're all the way up, right, keep breathing, and let's just roll the shoulders up and back a few times. Alright, and let's go forward. Alright, so if you can, keep a little bend in the knees, and let the spine move a little bit with it too. And then see if you can feel the shoulder blade just kind of sliding up and around the back of the ribs. And then let's go back a couple more times. Okay, and then relax, shake the arms out. Alright, and then as you inhale, let's reach the arms up. Maybe look up, maybe a slight arch in the back. And as you exhale, hands through prayer, down to the floor, fold forward, relax the neck. And then inhale to a flat back. And as you exhale, let's step the right foot to the back of the mat. So runner's lunge. And lean onto the right hand, and let's take the left hand up to the ceiling. Let's take a nice big breath in, open up through the chest. And as you exhale, left hand down, let's step the right foot forward and fold. And inhale to a flat back. And as you exhale, left foot to the back of the mat, runner's lunge. Lean onto the left hand, right hand up. Right, nice big breath in, push the floor away with your left arm, open up the chest. And as you exhale, right hand down. And let's step back to plank pose. Alright, let's take a few breaths in plank pose. Alright, so maybe, rocking forward and back on your toes, maybe rocking side to side, just shifting the shoulders side to side. It's something that, you can just kind of move into it. Just like in your down dog, right? We're not stiff, we kind of move around with it, play around with it. Alright, good, and make sure you breathe in. Alright, cool. Now let's bring the shoulders a little bit forward, so just a little bit above the wrists, and on your tippy toes, and then press your feet into the floor, press the palms into the floor, so the whole front side of the body nice and strong, and then relax the face and the neck, and let's take one more nice deep breath in, and as you exhale, lower all the way down to your belly. Right, knees can lower down too, and then untuck the toes, and as you inhale, lift the chest off the floor, come into a little cobra, nice and easy to start off. And as you exhale, lower down, tap the forehead. Right, see if you can ground the tops of your feet, ground the pelvis into the floor, and then inhale, lift the chest up, and then pull the hands back, like you're trying to stretch the chest forward. And as you exhale, lower down, right, tap the forehead. And then inhale, lift up, again, pulling yourself forward, and then pushing into the palms. So stretching and lifting. And as you exhale, lower down, tap the forehead. Let's do two more. All right, elbows in, and inhale, lift up. Get shoulders down the back, really breathing into the chest. And as you exhale, lower down, tap the forehead. Okay, last one, we'll hold it for a few breaths. So inhale, lift up to cobra. All right, and then on that first exhale, right, feel your core, relax the shoulders, relax the neck, and then make sure you're in a place where you can hold a really even back bend. All right, let's take one more full breath. All right, and then we'll lower down nice and slow. And let's press back through child's pose. All right, take a breath or two, let the back stretch out. Take a nice deep breath into the lower back. And then whenever you're ready, let's come back up to down dog. All right, nice job. In down dog, ground the hands. Let's really open up the fingers. And let's bring the feet together. And then let's inhale, lift the right leg up. Nice and slow. And as you exhale, bend the right knee and then open the hips. Let's pull the belly in, protect the lower back. And then as you inhale, square the hips, straighten the right leg. And as you exhale, nice and slowly, right foot back down next to your left foot. And as you inhale, lift your left leg up. It's slow motion. And as you exhale, bend the left knee, open and stack the hips, belly in. And as you inhale, square the hips, straighten your leg. And as you exhale, left foot next to the right foot. Let's take an inhale, lift the hips. And as you exhale, bend the knees and walk or jump or step to your hands. And as you inhale, come to a flat back. And exhale, fold. Okay, let's take the feet apart about shoulder distance and put a nice bend in the knees. And then let's interlace the hands behind the back. Alright, good. And then with the knees bent, right, ground the feet, squeeze the shoulder blades together, and then lift the hands up, and then start to, kind of let the hands fall overhead. So that'll naturally round the back. And let the back of the neck stay really soft. Deep breaths. And then if you want to, just push into your feet, start to lift up the hips. And let's take 2 deep full breaths. There you go, guys. And it just takes 1 breath. Just the breath that you're on. That's all it takes. Let's take 1 more. Alright, nice job. And from here, go ahead and bend your knees to try and lower down your hips to the same level as your knees. And then looking straight down to the floor, and then release the arms. Reach the arms straight ahead. Alright, so think from the tailbone through your fingertips, 1 long line parallel to the floor. Good. Lengthen the back of the neck. Lower the ears, raise the arms. And then as you inhale, come all the way up to standing. Look up, maybe arch the back. And as you exhale, fold forward. All the way down, relax the neck. And inhale to a flat back. And as you exhale, let's step the right foot to the back of the mat. And let's spin the right heel down. And let's come up into Warrior 1. Okay, cool. So go ahead and find your feet. So I like to always keep my hands on my hips to find my feet. It just helps me to focus on my lower half. Alright, cool. So stance can be wide. Stance can be a little bit shorter. But just see if you can bend your left knee so it's right over your left heel, and then pressing that straight down to the floor. And then pressing straight back through the right heel. So the right leg's nice and long. And then pushing away through the right heel, just really gently turn the right hip forward. Just as much as it feels like going. Okay, cool. And then see if you can lean forward just a little bit. So just so there's, like no discomfort in your lower back. So lean forward a little bit. Pull the belly button in, really feel the core. And from there, lift the chest, and then maybe just start to come straight up. And there's a natural back bend there. There you go, nice. Okay, stay with your breath. And then let's take the arms all the way up. There you go, nice. Relax the shoulders, turn the pinkies in. All right, and then if you want to, you can close the eyes. And then just see if you can focus on your feet. So just squeezing the feet into the floor. Really letting the floor energize your legs, energize your core. All right, let's take 2 more deep breaths. Stay with it. All right, then last breath in. Maybe look up. Maybe go for a little bit more of a back bend. And as you exhale, hands through prayer. And hands down to the floor. All right, spin up onto the right toes. And then set the right knee down to the floor. And then let's pull back into half splits. So straighten your left knee, pull the left hip back, and then flex the left toes up towards the face. If you want to, slide the left heel forward, and if it feels good, walk the hands forward. Try and lengthen the whole upper body over your left leg. Okay, and then if it feels good, kind of wag the tail just to see where it feels best on your lower back. All right, and then once you find a good spot, let's take 3 deep full breaths. Relax the shoulders, relax the face and the neck. Good, and then just be with the pose completely. Right, just breathing and feeling. All right, great. And then from here, let's rebend the left knee, plant the left foot, and let's tuck the right toes under, lift the right knee. Now let's take the left hand inside the left foot, and then we'll spin the right heel flat to the floor. Okay, cool. So now legs are like in Warrior 2, hands are planted on the floor. See if you can keep your left knee right over your left heel, and then squeeze your left arm and left knee into each other. Now let's take the right hand to the right hip, and then just lean the right shoulder open. Alright, cool. So you're welcome to keep your left hand on the floor. You can grab your ankle if you want, or if you want to, you can take the left elbow on your thigh here. So whatever feels best on your hips, wherever you can feel a really nice grounding in your legs. Alright, cool. So if you are able to squeeze your left arm and knee into each other, use that teamwork tension to roll the right shoulder back and then open the chest. And if you want to, take the right arm up, and if you want to, take the right arm at an angle. Alright, cool. And then just sensing a really long line from the right heel all the way up through the right fingertips. And if it feels good on your neck, you can even look up towards the right fingertips. And let's take one nice deep full breath. Alright, then right hand all the way up. Take a nice big breath in. And as you exhale, right hand down to the floor. And then spin up onto the right toes. Lean onto the right hand. And let's take the left hand up to the ceiling. And I'll be here for runner's twist for a few breaths. Alright, cool. So really use the right arm. Alright, and then see if you can continue to press your left knee down into your left heel, but then also pull your left hip back. So it's kind of like an active stretch, an active release. Okay, nice. And then reach back through the right heel. Good. Extend through the crown of the head. And let's take 2 breaths. Alright, so now just be with the pose. Alright, great. And then left hand all the way down to the floor. Alright, and let's spin the right heel flat. Maybe step the right foot in a little bit. And then straighten your left knee. And let's fold over the left leg. We'll come into pyramid pose. Okay, nice. So same thing here as in half split. If you feel like it, you could just kind of wag the tail. Move the hips around. And see what position feels best on your lower back, what position feels best on your left hamstring. Alright, and then relax the shoulders. Let the spine lengthen through the crown of the head just by relaxing the neck. And let's take 2 deep full breaths. Alright guys, just really simple. Just paying attention to the body and paying attention to the breath. Okay, and from here let's rebend the left knee and then spin back up onto the right toes. Maybe slide the right foot back a little bit, and then let's step back to down dog with the left leg in the air. And if you want to, bend the knee and open and stack the hips. And let's take a couple breaths here. Alright, so try and press the chest right straight back towards the right foot. Relax the neck. And then just lift the left knee up. That is, you relax the right heel down. Alright, one more breath. Alright, then with an inhale, let's straighten the knee, square the hips. And as you exhale, let's bring the left knee forward into pigeon pose. Alright, so left knee down, and then right knee down. And then walk onto your fingertips. And just make some adjustments to square the hips. So we'll spin the right thigh down. See if you can kind of pull the left hip back. And then lift the chest. Take a nice deep breath in. And as you exhale, let's fold forward. And so belly, and then chest. And then relax the head. Alright, cool. And then once you're folded, see if you can keep that right thigh spinning down, just so that the hips are level with the floor. Alright, and then let's take 4 deep full breaths here. And wherever you feel the stretch, and see if you can notice what's happening as you inhale, and notice what's happening as you exhale. Not really doing anything, but just noticing. Alright, nice job. And then when you're ready, nice and easily, make your way back up onto your hands. And let's come back up onto the fingertips. Take a nice big breath in, lift the chest, maybe lift the chin. And as you exhale, take the gaze down, plant the palms, tuck the right toes, lift the knee, and let's step back to plank pose. Alright, in plank pose, let's just take 2 deep breaths. Alright, so feel the core, feel the upper body. Alright, with your next inhale, breathe into your upper back. And as you exhale, lower down all the way to your belly. Nice and softly setting yourself down. And then as you inhale, lift up to a cobra. And as you exhale, lower down. And let's press back through child's pose. And then when you're ready, let's come up to downward dog. Alright, nice job. So we'll take 3 deep breaths in downward dog or child's pose. Whichever pose feels best for you, just really take a few breaths before we start the next side. Just notice how the body's feeling. Alright, nice. And then one more breath. See if you can bring your awareness back to the ends of your breath. Alright, then with your next inhale, lift up the hips, alright, lengthen the spine, and as you exhale, bend the knees, and then walk or step up to your hands. And as you inhale, come to a flat back, and exhale, fold, and let's step the left leg to the back of the mat, and then we'll spin the left heel down. Let's come up into Warrior One. Alright, cool. So again, if you want to, hands on the hips. And then just find your feet on this side. And so for me to find my feet, I kind of let the hips open. And so I can really find as even of a stance as I can. So that kind of like if you can imagine that you're standing on a beach and you're just kind of digging your feet into the sand and you're bracing yourself for a wave to come at you. So in order to do that, you really have to like hold your ground, right? So you're really just finding both feet nice and firm, digging into the earth. Nice. And then you find, the strength from the pressing down into the earth, right? The earth gives you that support. All right, and then lean forward just a little bit. Lengthen your lower back. Feel your core. All right, keep breathing. And then from there, to start to lift the chest. And then just bring the torso straight up. All right, and then if you want to, take the arms up. Good, and deep breaths. All right, so building strength. In order to build strength, all right, we gotta go for a little bit of heat, a little bit of burning. Let's take 2 deep breaths. All right, nice job. And then with your last inhale, if you want to, just look up, a little bit more of an arch in the back. And as you exhale, hands through prayer, and hands down to the floor. Spin up onto the left toes, and set the left knee down, and then let's pull back into half splits. All right, so pull back through the right hip, lift the right toes, and set the right leg release. And maybe stretch the arms forward. Good, if you want to, just kind of move the hips from side to side. All right, then 3 deep breaths. So just soften the face. All right, good, nice job. Maybe sensing the heart beating. We'll take 1 breath. All right, and then from here, let's rebend the right knee, plant the right foot, and then tuck the left toes, lift the left knee back into runner's lunge. And let's take the right hand to the inside of the right foot, and then spin the left heel flat to the floor. All right, cool. And then all four hands or all 4 feet, whatever you want to say, press them into the floor, right? So both feet, both hands. All right, see if you can evenly push everything down and help all that pressing down to feel your core. All right, then squeeze the right arm and knee into each other. Take the left hand to the left hip, and then just roll the left shoulder open. Okay, nice. And then come as high up as you need to with your right hand. All right, ankle or elbow on your thigh. All right, good. And then again, keep that connection with your right arm and knee to open the chest. And then see if you can start to lengthen the spine. Right, so lengthen the crown of the head away from your left heel. And if you want to, left arm up. And then if you want, left arm at an angle. All right, 2 deep breaths. Nice job staying with it. Good, bringing as much calmness right into the storm as you can. All right, 1 more breath. All right, then left arm up. Take a nice big breath in. And as you exhale, left hand down to the floor. Spin up onto your left toes. And then lean onto the left hand. Take the right arm up. Runner's twist. Okay, nice job. So just a few deep breaths here. Right, from the left arm all the way through the right fingers, a really long line. And then see if you can make a really long line from the left heel out through the crown of your head. Maybe even closing the eyes, and then 2 more breaths. Just imagining that your body is really subtly, right, lengthening and widening and expanding. All right, one more breath. All right, nice. Then right hand all the way back down to the floor. And step the left foot in a little bit, spin the left heel down, and then nice and easily straighten the right knee, and let's fold over the right leg. All right, great. So deep breaths, and just watching that right quad cool down. It takes a few breaths. Right, see where the hips want to be, how square the hips want to be. All right, then see if you can feel the heartbeat and feel the breath. So notice the effect that this pose has on your body after a couple really active poses. What's this pose doing? Nice job. One more breath. All right, now let's rebend the right knee. Spin up onto the left toes. Slide the left foot back a little bit. Now let's step back to a down dog with the right leg in the air. All right, cool. So try and keep both arms evenly strong here. And then let's bend the right knee and open and stack the hips. All right, and a couple deep breaths. All right, great. So see if you can ground your left foot and then lift that right knee using those outer hip muscles. That's to really feel those outer hip muscles. And we're going to release that with the next pose, right? So just feel it. Take one more breath. All right, nice. Then straighten the legs, square the hips. Take a nice deep breath in. And as you exhale, bring the right knee forward for a pigeon pose. Right knee down behind the right wrist, left knee down. And then walk the hands in, come up onto the fingertips. And then square the hips to the floor. Take an inhale. Find a little back bend if it feels nice. And as you exhale, slowly fold forward. So maybe coming on the elbows and forearms, maybe stretching the arms all the way out forward. And maybe resting your forehead on your hands. All right, nice job. So let's just feel this one. All right, 4 deep, slow breaths. All right, so this is deep, a really deep hip opener. All the other standing poses are basically preparation for something like this. So just let the hip relax. Let all those muscles we were using, take a rest. And one more deep breath. Okay, nice job. And from here, let's walk back up onto the hands and onto the fingertips. Nice big breath in. Lift the chest, maybe a little back bend. And then as you exhale, plant the hands down and just lower onto the right hip. And let's bring the left leg all the way forward. And then we'll come to a seated spinal twist. Okay, cool. So the right knee is bent. And then the left knee is up. So the left foot stepping across the thigh. Go ahead, lift the hips, adjust the hips. Now let's take the left hand behind. Inhale, take the right arm up. And as you exhale, wrap the arm around your knee and then pull yourself into the twist. All right, good. So see if you can make your hips heavy. Left sitting bone, right sitting bone anchored to the floor. And then from that grounding, just an effortless lifting through the spine, chest open, crown of the head lifting, face relaxed, shoulders relaxed. And then 2 deep breaths, just feeling the breath move in and out of the twist. Alright, then nice and easily, we'll look forward and release through the center. And then take the hands over to the right side, a little counter twist. And then back to the center. And let's switch the legs around. Alright, great. So we have the left knee down, right knee up. And let's take the right hand behind. Inhale. Take the left hand up. Maybe look up, reach up. And as you exhale, into the twist. Hug the right knee in towards that left shoulder. And then as you twist, see if you can at the same time, lift the chest. So twisting and extending. And then a little drop of the chin, relaxing the shoulders. Right, nice. And remember, the quality of the pose, and the benefits of the pose really isn't about twisting as deeply as you can, but it's the quality of your breath. So now just go into your breath. All right, how much can you let go of doing here? And then just let the breath be the primary focus. All right, 2 deep, slow breaths. Alright, and then nice and slowly take the gaze forward. And let's take the hands over to the left, a little counter twist. And then back through the center. Okay, from here let's go into Gomukhasana. So keep the left knee as it is, and then just walk the right foot over towards the left hip. Right, so lift the hips if you want to. So we're just kind of moving the right knee so it's closer to be on top of the left knee. And whatever degree, doesn't matter. So when you feel the stretch, you'll feel it and you'll know when to stop. Okay, cool. So flex the feet and then relax the shoulders. All right, try and close the eyes. For me, I like to hold on to my feet and let the hips get really heavy. Just let the hips get really heavy and grounded. And then allow for that to help you to sit up really tall effortlessly. So tailbone weighing down to the floor. And then the crown of the head just floating up towards the sky. Let's take 1 deep breath. Alright, great. And then 1 more nice deep breath in. Alright, and try to really lengthen the spine, sit up nice and tall. And as you exhale, if you feel like it, start to fold forward. So if you want, walk the hands forward. Alright, nice and easily. Kind of like you're going into uncharted waters. You don't just jump in, but nice and slow. Keep the hips anchored. Keep the feet flexed. And again, whatever feels reasonable. So reasonable means that you're not grinding your teeth. You can feel it, but you can still really keep that deep, smooth breath. Now let's take 3 deep breaths. On the exhale, just releasing the stretch that you're feeling. There you go, nice last breath. Let go a little bit more. Alright, great. Then nice and slowly walk the hands back in. Let's sit up nice and straight. Take the hands back behind, and then let's switch out the legs. Alright, cool. So go ahead and adjust the hips. Stack the knees as best you can. So one side won't be as open as the other side. So, just honor that. Alright, then sitting up nice and tall, just let the hips get really heavy. Let the hips just sink down into the floor. Kind of like the hips are a big boulder. Just effortlessly staying put. And then let's take a nice deep breath in. Lengthen the spine. And as you exhale, if you want to, let's fold forward. Alright, deep breaths. And see if you can breathe all the way down into your hips. So follow the breath and your attention way down to your hips. And then as you exhale, see if you can feel like kind of the breath is grabbing tension and then just lifting it up all the way up through your nose. As you inhale, the breath goes down. It scoops up some tension. And as you exhale, the breath just carries the tension out of your body. Let's take 2 more breaths. Okay, great. Nice and easily walk the hands back in. I take the hands behind, undo the legs carefully. Alright, then just shake the legs out, pat the knees to the floor, roll the thighs in and out. Alright, nice job. And then from here, let's roll onto our backs. Alright, all the way onto the back. And we'll do something different today. We'll just go right into Shavasana. Which feels really nice, after some deep hip openers like that. Alright, so after you, kind of move around and fidget, maybe just start by taking your attention to your hips. And then, just feel gravity really gently just pressing and hugging your hips down to the floor. And as your body becomes softer, notice your body becomes heavier and the body becomes a little bit flatter. And then, as much as we're able to, just let go completely. And just simply observe your body relaxing. Okay, before you start to move, just notice how your body's breathing. And notice how the heart is beating. And just notice what the body feels like when it's in a relaxed state. And then nice and easily, start to take in some deeper breaths. And start to move the fingers and move the toes. And the jaw, wrists and ankles. And turning the head from side to side. And then if you want, take the arms overhead. Go for a nice long stretch. Stretch the arms and the legs away from each other. Take a nice breath. And then relax that. And then one knee at a time. Let's bring both knees into the chest. Give a nice little squeeze. And then spread the arms out like a T. Let the knees fall over to the left side. And just a breath. Supine twist. Let the body relax. And then all the way up through center. And knees to the right. Good, one breath. Alright, then from here, let's roll all the way onto the right side. And resting the head on the right arm like a pillow. And just for a moment, notice how everything feels. And then when you're ready, let's all come back up to a comfortable seated position. Alright, great. So take a breath, let the eyes close. And then just notice, how the internal state is. So as we build this skill to become more and more aware of how our body is on the inside, this make us a little bit, more keen as we catch ourselves reacting. What is the body doing? And then becoming more keen on relaxing our bodies, letting go of that gripping, and then responding to the outside situation. Alright, then one more inhale. Let's take the arms all the way up. And as you exhale, hands in prayer in front of the heart. And a soft bow of the head. And please take a moment and thank yourself for your practice. Acknowledge your effort, your time, and your attention. And I thank each of you too very much. Hope you have a great rest of your day and a great rest of your week. Namaste.